Is it on?
We are now.
What the hell?
Yeah, I like that. Every podcast, it feels like it opens with you being bamboozled by the fact that we're recording a podcast. What the fuck?
It is quite shocking. It's not a natural thing to be doing.
Every week for a year and a half, we've been podcasting together.
Who the hell? Who are you? Stay back. What are you listening to, you nosy fuckers?
He's got tremendously Alzheimer's-y vibes, I would say.
Lad, I was on Have a Word a couple of weeks ago, and I just kept... Sometimes I just get in, like, you know, I get something in my head and it just gets too much. You know the way I always go, oh!
Yep.
I did that, I'm
aware of that, yeah.
150 times on Have a Word. Just every single thing that was said, I just went, oh! And just like people in the comments furious, like, what the fuck is wrong with that cunt? Why does he keep shouting, oh? About what? What's it even for? Oh! And it's for nothing.
What is it like?
It's Sopranos. It's literally just the Sopranos. People go,
yeah.
oh!
I finished the Sopranos.
Oh,
this
lad.
week.
Well.
Can I say something?
Oh God, you're such an arsehole. You're such an arsehole. I know,
yet.
but I know what you're going to say.
I haven't said anything yet.
Right, yeah, but the way you framed it already, it's just like, let me guess.
And I think you knew this was going to happen because I brought this up on a recent podcast. Right. I said that I don't like stories that go, oh, what happened? You get to choose. I said that recently.
Oh no, I agree.
On a podcast.
I agree with you on that.
And you knew I was coming towards the end of The Sopranos.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I wasn't thinking that clearly about you and your progress with The Sopranos. I have other things in my life, but
no. You knew what you were up to.
Right, let's hear it.
You were trying to rumble me.
No, let's hear it. And do you know what? Actually, now I reacted badly there, but go on.
Because it feels like we're about to agree, and
yeah.
you've gone, oh,
right, oh. I'm just addicted to going, oh.
I just think the end of it. The end of The Sopranos, spoilers, if you don't want to hear about the end of a TV show that came out 20 years ago. I guess the end of it was maybe 10 years ago.
Do you know what? Yeah, spoilers, it cover your ears, but forget about it. If you didn't watch it over lockdown, it's done. Oh!
Yeah, you're not doing what I did in watching 86 episodes of the fucking Sopranos.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You don't have the time, you don't have the spare time of a young comedian with no dependents.
That's right.
I think it's a cop-out to end a show like that.
Yeah. Now, here's I'm on board with you on this. In terms of, I don't like ambiguous endings. Lost in Translation, you don't know the movie, but at the end, very famous movie, like fucking Bill Murray whispers something in Scarlett Johansson's ear, and it's like, we don't hear it, and it's up to us. Just tell us what he said. Yeah. If you're going to tell us he said something, don't leave this, well, it's up to the audience. Well, no.
Stop giving me a job, you
No. Just tell us.
I don't know, this might be surprising. I'm not a screenwriter.
Right.
I'm not the writer of this fucking film. You tell me what happens and I have a nice time. Now, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck you, brother. I didn't come in here to fucking work. I will say this. He dies. He gets killed.
Tony?
Yeah. At the end, that is someone comes in and shoots him. Almost 100% certainly, because... there's a couple of episodes before where him and fucking Bobby Bacala, fellow big fat fucker, remember their fight when him and Bobby are fighting?
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Very sad when, spoilers, Bobby Bacala dies.
He loved train sets. He had such a big heart, Bobby Bacala.
He was my favourite character.
Lad.
Big train guy?
Yeah.
I'm on board.
He had a heart of gold. He loved Junior. Well, what are you doing? He loved Junior.
And he was just a bit thick.
He was as thick as a plank,
And then he became a made guy just kind of... by accident. Like, just like... by happenstance.
Let me tell you one thing. You'd want to be thick as a plank to marry Janice Soprano.
Oh.
Because that woman is a fucking menace.
Good Lord.
Sure, she took the head off of Richie April.
What was going on with her?
Huh?
What was going on with her?
Well, sure, the whole lot of them were, except actually that one sister they had, Barbara, who just got away out in New Jersey and seemed to be normal. But Janice was fucking...
It would fuck you up if your dad would, like, listen, your dad's done a fair number on your psyche. with his kind of like farming background. Imagine your dad was just fucking killing cunts.
Killing cunts, shagging every, swinging fucking
Every
floozy in
Eastern
town.
Every Eastern European woman he could get his fucking hands on.
That's right. He was sticking it in. Now, when you meet the mother, you have a bit of sympathy because, by God, was that woman a battle axe. Like, what chance did Tony have, really? I mean, the mother's like one of the most evil characters I've ever come across.
And then I watched the documentary about The Sopranos,
Yeah.
where they interviewed David Chaslow, who's the creator, writer, and then director of 2 episodes. You know what 2 episodes he directed?
Did he directed the first one?
Yep.
Yeah, and then he hardly directed that one. Fucking, where they're out in the snow.
He directed the last one.
Oh, is that the only 2 he directed?
He top and tailed it.
Days.
And it was so funny, and I think this plays into like how the show ends, where apparently like when it was building up to the last few series, also he would always invite a cast member for lunch if he was about to fucking whack them in the script.
No way.
So if you got invited for lunch, it was like,
oh no,
bad stuff's about to be bad.
Well, they always send it. That's what they always used to send your best friend to kill you. You know that in the Mafia.
Oh really?
Yeah, which is fucking. It's just so cutthroat, that whole little organization.
I'd be fucking safe.
Huh?
I'd be fucking safe.
Why?
I got no pals.
Cumlung will be sent to kill you, lad. There is no doubt.
The family.
Yeah.
That's my cousin,
Yeah.
Cumlung.
I know he's your cousin, Cumlung, but he's got to go.
But it was so mad because Tony's mum is just a complete fucking horror show of a woman.
That's right.
So nasty, so undermining, so demeaning. And then they interviewed David Chase and he goes, yeah, it's my mother.
Yeah.
I was just writing my mother. That's what every family member that's ever seen the show is just like, that's your mother.
Well,
Like,
listen.
bang on, not even like a heightened version. It's just like, that's what.
But you know what's funny?
He said when he went to law school, he phoned his mum being like, I got into law school. She goes, another one of your harebrained schemes. It's not so
I just became a doctor. Another one of your little scams, is it? This is nothing you could do. I've just become president. One of your little tricks, I see. Up to your tricks again.
Up to this, now when are you going to make something of yourself, fucking president?
I just raised 20 million for charity. You're a bum. You're a crook. But you know what's funny? There was a lot of her. The mom in the Soprano, like Tony's mother, and she is one of the most miserable women that has ever, set foot in a TV screen. But a lot of it is Catholic, real Catholic behavior. Like my granny, who was a really loving woman, so she was different to her in that way. But a lot of the owl, just like, nobody visits me, nobody cares. I could die tomorrow, and you'd laugh.
Yeah.
You'd all laugh. You'd have a party. Oh, you all want to see the end of me. Like my granny would be, there'd be a lot of that.
Stab me right here. That would hurt less than what you've just said.
Yeah, and then like...
And all he said is, I want to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to put you in a beautiful assisted living facility.
Right here, you stabbed me. Oh, what did I ever do to deserve a son? I don't know what I did to you. Oh, he hates me.
Saying it to no one.
Yeah, to no one. He hates me. But my granny would do a lot of kind of stuff, just like, oh, sure.
Just woe is me.
Yeah, just no one would care if I dropped dead in the morning.
Is this your mum's mum or your dad's mum?
My dad's mum, Granny Rice, who was our kind of like our second mother, because she grew up in our house. So she loved us, the children, but she did love, and my father is very similar. Like my father refers to himself as poor old Rice in the third person, and just, sure, no one would care if poor old Rice was found at the bottom of the slurry pit. I suppose you'd all have a big smile on your face if that happened. Joan, just this constant.
Well, I heard that in your impression of your granny. I heard the generational, I knew it was your dad's mum.
That's right.
From the impression.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it's funny to pass that on. And in some ways, there is a lot of self-wingery going on within me as well, but I'm trying to be aware of it.
You're trying to break the...
I'm trying to break the cycle, brother. Generational. Is the mic has gone again? Now, is this going to be an echoey mic again?
No, that was...
right.
That wasn't... We didn't accidentally give you a fucking priest mic. Swap out the top of it.
Swap out the top, swap in the bob. Okay.
Mic drop from Mike. Maybe give it the fucking come along, you mad bastard.
Come on, go fuck himself. Come on, can get his own mic. I'm not gonna fucking spoon feed this Nepo hire anymore. I've had enough bullshit. So you finished it.
Yeah.
Don't Stop Believing comes on.
Don't stop
believing.
No. That's the end of it. It goes, don't stop, cut to black.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the show. So is this your theorizing of the point of view thing?
Well, no. So here's what I think. If you go back a couple of episodes, fucking Big Tony and Big Bobby Bacala.
You've mentioned this before.
Are sitting in the boat.
Yeah.
And Bobby says, he's like, I just reckon when you die, it just all goes to black. It's just nothing. And then we see the point of view coming in. You hear nothing, black.
I just don't buy it.
You don't buy what?
Well, make it happen then.
No, I hear you, but I think he left enough breadcrumbs throughout, and we see what's happened to enough characters to strongly assume Tony gets killed. I think they didn't do it on screen because I just think it would have just been so upsetting, and you need to have it be ambiguous enough that enough people can tell themselves he didn't get killed and just be like, no, I don't think, I actually think he lived, because we love Tony by that point.
Yeah, even though he's a real...
Well, we love Tony anyway. That's the great thing about the show. If you spend enough time with anyone, like regardless of their actions, if they're just fucking charismatic, and there's a humanness to Tony in terms of like, do you know what I mean? Like he's fucking...
David Chase, the creator, put it really brilliantly, and he said it isn't even something he wrote in, it's something that just came from James Gandolfini's performance of like, Tony's this absolute bastard, like psycho, maybe sociopath, narcissist, like evil man.
Yes.
But Gandolfini's performance like lets you see like the boy.
That's right.
That he was when he was growing up.
Yeah.
And just like that little spark of joy every so often or something, like, and with the ducks, and right from the jump with the ducks, it's just like, oh, he's just a little kid who's just grown up into, like, you can just see that he's just grown up into this like nasty thing, but you can still see the kind of pure just little boy.
And you see he loves watching like cowboy movies and stuff. He's like, where are the Gary Cooper types gone? Why can't people be like that no more? The strong silent type. And he'd be there sitting just eating ice cream watching his cowboy movies.
It's just the little boy thing of he's just like
one of the greatest moments in the film, because he's like, you know, like he is a sensitive guy in some ways, and you know, he has an ego and gets his feelings hurt and stuff. And at one point, I remember, like, you know, he had broken up with the crazy Russian one, and he's driving down the street, right? And now the Russian one, he has found out, is started seeing this counselor, this older guy, like, who's like works in the fucking for the mayor's office or something. That Tony knows this guy, right? And Tony's just driving down the street, and the song's like, oh girl, I'll be nothing if you leave me now. I don't know where to look for love. I just don't know how. And he's driving now, and he just starts singing, oh girl, I'll be nothing if you leave me now. And you just see him, he starts like crying, like a little tear comes in his eyes. And then he just goes this. And he's so angered by the fact that he's been made feel sad that you just see he takes a turn off of like the motorway down another route, turns up at the girl's house, knocks on the door. She goes, oh, Tony. He's just like, I think the drink, goes upstairs. The council man is in the room and just beats him to fuck with a belt. And he's just like, of all the bitches in New Jersey, you gotta pick this one? Bang. He's like, Tony, no. She's like, Tony, no. But she's also secretly like turned on. She's like, oh, Tony, no. And then apparently after that, your man couldn't get it up anymore because of the trauma.
Last time he bunked, a man came in and beat him with a belt half to death.
That's right.
Yeah, that would do a number on your libido, I would say.
But there's something to like the vulnerability, like just feeling like the sadness
and hating it,
and just being like, no,
fuck
gay,
that. Yeah,
violence. Like your reaction to sadness is, You gotta hurt someone.
Yeah.
Because now you've been hurt. But it reminds me of like Noel Gallagher when he was like records Talk Tonight, and then he's like, I want to talk tonight, really emotional song. As soon as he gets out of the studio, the boys are like, all right, no, he goes, shut up, you cunt. Like, he just has to immediately
batten down the hatches again. The walls have to come back up.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, I understand.
But we need to break the cycle, brother. Break the cycle, brother.
We're working hard.
Anyway.
Yeah, so in terms of, I think it was a brilliant show, definitely worth watching. Didn't really like the end. And it felt quite cynical the way they spoke about it in the documentary. Like, your guy, David Chase, was like, I wanted people to talk about it. Because if you just end the show, people talk about it for one day and that's it, end of conversation.
Yeah.
But he wanted to have a lasting impact on conversations at like workplaces and stuff. And I was like, right, but your shows, and also like when they were talking about the last few series, he was like, people started saying like, oh, how are you going to end it? And he was like, well, it'll just get cancelled. Like, TV shows just eventually get cancelled. That's what happened. And people were like, no, this isn't going to get cancelled. You kind of have to decide how you want to end this TV show.
Right.
And I think that comes across in it, that he didn't have a sense of where he wanted it to end.
Yeah.
And therefore, even if you subscribe to like Tony's dead,
I do subscribe to that.
I just think like it wasn't quite, it hadn't built up to a point where I felt, there were points in the show where I was like, oh, if Tony died now, that would be like, fuck, but like really dramatic and like, impactful. But I guess that's maybe the antithesis of like David Chase, of like, he doesn't go for the big dramatic moment.
Yeah.
He goes for kind of the reality of like,
right,
it's over.
Yeah.
Like, it's just stopped now. And life just kind of goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. Life.
You know what I mean? The lights go out for one person, but everything else just continues.
Yeah. And there is something to the fact that like, Tony can't live. He's just, that's not what happens to a guy like him. Just a guy who has taken so many risks, constantly killed so many people he maybe shouldn't have. You know what I mean? Like, even when he kills fucking Ralphie, like, because it was a horse. Pie oh my. It was just a horse, Tony. What did he ever do to you? He loved that horse. Bye, oh my.
Yeah, but I think Ralphie was a despicable.
Ralphie was a dirty little dog.
He's always that actor guy. He also plays
Joe Pagliano,
the kind of despicable character in The Matrix.
Oh, he's a dirty cunt in The Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
One
piece of shit. One of the saddest
line reads of all time is like in The Matrix when that guy is like unplugging them all, going around the spaceship and just he's like killing all these people.
Yeah.
This woman like looks at like Neo and Trinity who are on the phone and they know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And she just goes, not like this. And then dies and it's just like, oh my God.
I know.
It's so brutal. So he's a real cunt. Be bad to be typecast as just cunt forever.
Well, yeah, he plays a character called Teddy in Memento, and he was also in Risky Business with Tom Cruise as one of his very first roles. He's a young lad in that. I'm just giving out useless trivia here, but to be that character in Sopranos and The Matrix, late 90s, such massive pop culture phenomenons, it's going to be hard to have you play anyone nice ever, brother. Do you know what I mean?
I think like the Sopranos thing was interesting because it's so many people's fucking fit. They're like, this is the best show ever. Yeah. Like McShane is like, that's the best TV show that's ever been made.
Oh, I believe it is the best TV show ever, yeah.
I don't.
What do you think was better, Glenroe?
What's that?
Huh?
What's that?
An Irish agricultural soap opera. That was huge in Ireland in
Emmerdale,
the 90s.
actually, I think is the greatest TV show of all time.
Okay, what do you think's better, like genuinely now? Because this is...
I understand the argument against this because it would never have existed, and having watched both now, I can see the massive parallels in character arc. It never would have existed without The Sopranos, but I think it improved upon Sopranos, so it's hard to say it's better when it stands on the shoulders of. But I think Breaking Bad overall is a better TV show than The Sopranos.
God, it's so wrong. You're just so wrong on that. I don't think you could get popular support from anyone that has seen both shows. I would say, of the people who've seen both shows, I would say 5% of people will think Breaking Bad was a better show overall. Like, in terms of like...
You're such a fucking politician. Stop trying to get votes.
I'm not trying to get votes.
Talk to me in the realm of ideas.
I'm dear in the realm of
Stop
ideas.
saying, people will think this. Who?
I'm telling you.
Who will think this?
The proletariat, the
I'm
working
here.
classes,
Fuck 'em.
the people who work in the factories, the linen mills,
The voting public,
the
haven't
blacksmiths.
The voting public don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about.
Oh! These are good people, learned people. They've read Charlotte's Web. They know what's happening.
Now, would you like me to call you out on the amount of times you're saying, "Oh," on this podcast?
Nope.
No.
I'd like that. No. I'd like that to go unchallenged.
Okay, I was just making sure you didn't want to get those nasty commenters.
Oh
from the
no,
Have a
our
Word
people
podcast.
loving. Oh, to have a word, people. They really drove. I'm sure like people are crashing forklifts. What the fuck?
For they do have a forklift audience.
Yeah, it's a cunt. Let me ask you this now, and we're not going. We don't have to go back into it. It's just like opinions, and your one once again is awful. But
I'm surprised you're so. I think that's a common debate amongst people. Breaking Bad. I think people that say Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad are insane.
have you watched all Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
You have. I haven't watched all Better Call Saul, so I can't really talk about it. I do love Bob Odenkirk. I think I like the way he moves.
He's brilliant. His book's great.
Right.
Have you read his book?
Is it a novel or is it a book about Bob?
It's a book about Bob.
It's a Bob book.
Book about Bob.
No, I haven't.
Comedy drama.
Nice. I do love
I'll give
Bob.
it to you because he came up in Chicago and you started in Chicago. And
Brother,
all that
I
stuff.
cut my teeth. That's where I learned how to break the cycle, brother. Break the traumatic cycle in Chicago. Breaking Bad. You know what? I did, and you know, and I'm being a little contrarian. It's completely fine for you to think that, obviously, but at the same time, I just can't believe you've watched all the Sopranos more recently, and you think you hark back to Breaking Bad as being better.
Well, there's such similar shows. Like in terms of the arc and like basically things just go in slightly different directions where Carmela didn't ever really push back against Tony and didn't get out of the criminal, like mooching off the criminal lifestyle. Skyler did and made the harder decisions.
I think
and
you
got
could
away
argue
from it.
both sons had special needs.
Um,
I think AJ was more impaired than the son in Breaking Bad.
but yeah, he got the job in the pizza shop and
He
then
was
quit.
such a fat
I mean,
coward. He was the worst son. Even I was like, kill him.
But he was just soft. He was, you know,
But not just. He was
he's
just.
a real soft times make soft man.
Oh God, Elon Musk would have fucking jizzed all over him. He was one of the most useless little men. And I'm coming from like a farm myself, and I was relatively useless in terms of like my ability in a farming sense and just capabilities. But by jizz, you turn up and you work hard. This guy was just such a fucking floozy of a
But
little
a
chap.
farm's different to having everything on a silver platter, you know?
Yeah, but come on. There's plenty of fucking. This is why these people were like, oh, well, they grew up rich, so they couldn't do this. Donald Trump grew up rich. Look what he went on to achieve. Greatness. Fucking president. Didn't fucking inhibit him. Works like a dog. Eats a cheeseburger. Makes a deal. Come on. Get going.
Who are you shouting at?
Yeah, there. The people.
You know, it's like AJ, that actor has been in nothing else.
Where would you put him? He depresses people. It's upsetting to look at him even act.
Him and Meadow have a podcast. Did you know this?
Meadow. I'd love a little run around the meadows.
In what series?
Huh?
In what series?
Whichever one it's illegal. Whichever one it's not allowed. No, there's one there, where, I don't know, there's some scene where you see her
She goes to college and she starts bonking.
oh, she's absolutely getting fucking, bonked from fucking, top to toe. But remember when she's going out with Jackie Jr.?
He's a strong boy.
Huh?
Big.
He was fucking built like a fucking, like a bull, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But sure, he had to go.
I don't know how you could be that big in the 2000s. There wasn't the technology to be that big.
You
then.
didn't have the technology. That was just out of sheer Italian racism. He was just built with prejudice for minorities. You know what I mean? But like I remember that episode. She's like sick, and she has like this sniffling thing, and then he's
This is when you fancied her?
huh?
This is when you fancied her maximum?
I like a woman weak with low resistance. No, she was sick, but remember he comes in then, Jackie Jr., and he's just like, come on, he's trying to shag her, and she's like, I'm sick, Jackie, and he's like, he's just
and then
terrible.
doesn't he just go like cheat on her?
Yeah, just goes
Like she was annoying.
yeah. She was like sick, she wouldn't put out. So he just goes straight off and fucks someone else. And
Like one night of no riding.
One
and
night.
he's like, what was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
What was I supposed to not fuck that night?
That night?
Supposed to jerk off like a schmuck?
yeah, she was sick, but I said, all right, no problem. I'll do the work. Bend over. She says, no. What am I? My hands are tied. But I love, he was like, she's there, literally there, like, there's snot coming down her teeth. He's like, come on, just touch it. She's like, no, Jackie. And look, just him rolling his eyes. This fucking wrecked the head.
But yeah, so there's that, and then there's obviously like the getting caught thing. Like, just I feel like it's a similar character of Walter White and Tony Soprano. Walter White doesn't have the what's funnier about Walter White, and what I maybe enjoy about Walter White is when he does the big shows of masculinity and aggression, and like, you know, sees the moments, tries to say like the badass thing. He always fucks it.
Right.
And or like immediately goes back to little like he just turns into a little squirrel, Walter White, where he's just like, oh fuck, I'm a chemistry teacher, you know, like the chemistry teacher just comes out again. Whereas Tony just like, he grew up more criminal obviously, but like he owns the bigger. But I find there's something so relatable about like trying to do the badass thing and then just being like, oh fuck, like immediately just being like, oh I fucked up, fuck. I love the panic of Walter White, that even though Tony has panic attacks, it's like a different, you know, I think there's a real humor to Breaking Bad as well.
No, there definitely is. I've had moments like that where I've like, you know, I've tried to be the fucking, you know, king shit, tough guy, and then immediately folded. I remember I was like, trying to act crazy with this young lad once who was like giving me shit, and I was like, what the fuck are you gonna do? And I was like, started doing this crazy face, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? And I was like really trying to scare him. I was like, I'll fucking poke the head off you. I'll fucking kill you, you little cunt. And he was like, ugh. And then I saw his friend across the road, this fucking tank lad who's like half traveller from Callan. He said, what the fuck are you saying? And I just go, oh fuck. I just literally had to drop the whole act and just
scurry off into the
literally
distance.
Usain Bolt off. Just to hear a little patter on my feet. No! I'm sorry.
So I love that about Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I feel like there were more developed ancillary characters.
What's ancillary now? The fellas around.
Yeah.
You did more in Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Lad, I'm going to have to challenge you there now.
I was more connected to Hank Schrader than I was to any character that wasn't Tony.
Ah, come on.
In The Sopranos.
You weren't rolling in behind Paulie Walnuts.
Paulie Walnuts is just the weirdest cunt ever. And what's so funny is you watch the documentary and that actor is Paulie Walnuts.
Tony Sirico, he was in the Mafia.
You know the fucking the episode in the forest where like they get lost in the snow in the forest and they're all fucked up. He had to be like he wouldn't let hair and makeup touch his hair. He did his own hair for every single episode of The Sopranos.
I think you can tell that. Do you know what I mean? It looks like something that an older Italian man would do.
Do you know his method of doing his hair? This is all mad from the documentary, and I'm sorry if you haven't seen The Sopranos, but hopefully this episode is still of some fucking use.
It's your own fault, to be honest, if you haven't watched it.
He would get up at 3 a.m, read his lines, and then every 10 minutes would spray hairspray above his head.
Yeah.
Because he said it only worked if it like gradually settled.
Nice.
From above.
Nice.
And he would just learn his lines and then every 10 minutes go.
I love that. Just like, no, Tony, I will not do the job.
So he was actually in the Mafia. He was mobbed up.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was mobbed up. He's also in, he's in Goodfellas. He's just as a kind of a, not really an extra. He has a couple of lines, but he's just in the background as a street thug. Yeah, he was in like the Costa Nostra something or other, but he got out of it. There's a load of them that made a living.
Because there was an open casting call.
Yeah.
Did you know this? Like after a couple of series, they had just the like open auditions in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And just every cunt who was in the mob, but also cunts who like wanted to be in the mob, thought they were in the mob, any of that shit, the craziest cunts ever. They had to stop the audition day like midway through. There were still thousands of people queuing.
But lad, there's nothing more than a former Mafia head likes than just fucking either being in one of these shows, starting a podcast, telling all the secrets.
They're big into that now.
Oh lad, they're singing like canaries every last one of them.
When's this going to happen for the Ra?
Huh?
This is my question. Because the Ra...
Sure,
and all
Paddy
the
McDonald out there
paramilitaries
singing for his supper.
Yeah, but as if he was ever involved in anything.
Did Paddy not have his fingers on the pulse? No.
Paddy, I love Paddy to the moon. He'll tell you he spin a lot of yarns that might not have quite so much truth to them.
Sure, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
You and Paddy are similar in that sense.
We're birds of a feather in that
do you know
regard.
when you have these like East End gangsters who are all going on these podcasts going, listen mate, it's what you did, you just fucking killed him.
Yeah.
I killed him. I like pulling his fingernails off first.
Yeah.
Though. I liked it. I like looking him in the eye as I pulled his fingernails off and then chopped his dick into 10 pieces.
It's right. It wasn't right. It wasn't, something I'm proud of, but I pulled his rectum out with a pliers and I fed it to my bulldog.
I'm not proud
Jeffrey.
of it, but I have it on a certificate framed in my house. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
I tell basically everyone I ever meet.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it, but it's my defining characteristic.
Yeah, I'm deeply ashamed, and I've gone on every single podcast in the UK to brag about how ashamed I am. Yeah, no, I did kill my mother and I fed her tits to a lizard, but this haunts me and is certainly something that I can't look back on with pride, but I've got another pod at 4 to tell more people about it.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped.
I've eaten the ears off a child. It was not my child, it was an immigrant child, which doesn't make it better, but kind of does. Now, I'm not proud of that, but I can't stop telling everyone I meet, particularly if it's been recorded for general media.
And looking back, it's not my proudest moment, but I'll tell you.
It's not my proudest
moment. Will it be on my gravestone?
Yes. It's not my proudest moment, but when I say it, I do get filled with pride. Now, when I think back to those horrible, shameful things I did,
yes,
I feel deeply, deeply proud. Yeah, I ate a rival gangster's ass. And when I say that, I don't mean I licked his ass. I mean I ate his ass. I'm not proud of that, but that's how things were done back then.
But
that's how you sent a message.
And you've got the same in America. You've got all these fucking listen. It's just how business was done back in the day. I'm not saying anything. But it's like, when's the paramilitary podcasts coming out?
I think, but there was too strong a code of, like, say nothing. You don't say anything. I think that.
But you would think that exists with the fucking mafia. Like, there are all things like there's no such thing as the mafia.
But think about the characters. Like, think about the solemnness of like the Ra, like people that were in the Ra. This is the cause. This is what we do.
But it's not just the same cunts. Like,
no, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is,
it's just psychos who want an opportunity to be psychos.
It wasn't just that.
I know,
Come
but there's
on now.
lots of that. But I'm saying those people certainly existed in the paramilitary. Very Republic of Ireland view of the paramilitaries. They were good. They were good men. They were trying their best.
They were heroes, and they were family men. They were men who contributed to the community.
And they went to church every Sunday.
They were God-fearing men, mass going. They took communion. They drank the blood of Christ.
And for you to speak poorly of them,
no,
just because they fucking killed innocent people endlessly.
Hold on now. They got Mountbatten. Come on. Up the head.
I would like to rescind the mic bump.
No, I'm reading a book at the minute called Killing Thatcher.
Killing Thatcher.
Yeah.
We only have to be lucky once, but you have to be lucky every time.
That's fucking right, brother.
What have you learned from this book?
Lad. Well, I tell you one thing, and this is a fact. the Ra now, obviously, they did some fucking awful things. And even when I was reading about the Mountbatten thing, sure, poor old posh Mountbatten, and he loved Sligo, Mountbatten. He said, the Irish are my friends. And sure, we weren't really. Now that when you're looking back...
Some fucking friend.
Yeah, but sure, Mountbatten himself was now colonial bollocks, so he can suck one. But... and he was like 79. It's like, listen, you were a coffin dodger as it was. Don't be fucking crying over spilt milk.
It was very exciting euthanasia.
Yeah. The best way. He was out in his boat looking out over the sea. Boom, gone. Couldn't have asked for a better way to go. The old Batten. Now, there was other younger people killed in the whole thing, and that was sad. And there was an Irish fella that was like the boat boy, and his father had to find his son dead, and he was like, I'm Irish too, you bastards, which is very, very sad, you know. It's on the beach, and and they did some awful things. But sure, the pirate as well, to be fair, they were always blowing themselves up as well. Like, they were forever...
Not on purpose, like terrorists.
Oh, no,
days.
just making...
Just making absolute balls of it.
They called it in England, they called it the paddy factor, which was just the amount of horrific... And this goes back to the 1800s, lads just blowing themselves up. It's fucking awful. There was a funny... Who told me? I think my father told me this one, which is funny, like... but he was saying, like... there was like these three, an Irishman, Englishman, and Scotsman went over. It was like during the French Revolution, and they were over to like fucking, I don't know, support the monarchy. I don't know what they were doing. Anyway, they get caught, they get brought to the guillotine. Anyway, the English fella gets put on the guillotine, and for whatever reason, the guillotine, it won't work. And there's some like fucking law or some fucking little loophole that if it doesn't work, you just get to fucking live, like, and get off. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Then they put the Scottish fella on, same thing. The fuck thing won't work. The Scottish fella gets off. For fuck's sake, put the Irish fella down on the guillotine. He's looking up at it and he just says, "Oh, jeez, I see what's wrong here." So stupid.
Just belligerently helpful to a complete
absolutely.
fault.
There's a little fucking thing up there. But you realise that anyone can be fucking God. I mean, we see it with Trump right now. But as well, like the Ra, because they did learn, they had some very sophisticated shit going on. Mm-hmm. Like this fella that was, that was in the hotel where they were going to bomb Thatcher and everything. Like, he was just like a fucking genie at making bombs. He had learned to do a complete English accent. There was like, there was a lot of fucking deeply, cool espionage shit going on at the time. Things were very meticulously planned. Like, they weren't a bunch of fucking plonkers.
No, I think it was a strong mix of plonkers and scholars.
They did have a fair share of plonkers.
Yeah,
rattling around.
And also because it's not like centralized. Basically, any cunt puts on a balaclava and they are like, that was the Ra that did that, and it's like the guys who were actually trying to do like procedures and like have a kind of high council and all that fucking shit. Just some mad cunt blows himself up and he's like, oh Jesus. Was it Mickey? It was Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey. It's Mickey flying all over Belfast. But it's raining Mickey.
It's like the Four Lions thing.
Yeah.
I always thought there was like a funny version of that could have been made that was like just stupid Ra heads.
Oh,
who
lad.
really want to be in the Ra and just like fuck it up all the time.
Four Lions is so fucking good. If you haven't seen Four Lions, give it a fucking
for Islamic extremists.
Yeah.
But it's like really funny and they're just all fucking idiots. Well, I think it's one of the funniest things ever put on film is when they decide the best way to not get caught on CCTV is to fucking shake their head from side to side. It's like it goes blurry. Just walking around doing terrorism like this. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But what I did learn a bit about Maggie Thatcher. Now, Thatcher obviously kind of famous for being the biggest bitch of the 20th century.
That's it's an interesting one where I have that kind of ingrained in me, like Thatcher's an old bitch and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't like. I know the stuff about the hunger strikers, and she was very just like, belligerently. And it's this thing that exists in some politicians where they're just like, well, I'm holding the line and I'm the type of person that holds the line. The lady's not for turning, all that fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this isn't politics. This isn't finding common ground and finding solutions and blah 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 blah. You're just being a fucking cunt about this.
Yeah.
And people are dying and it's a blah 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 blah. But I don't know the ins and outs of like what was she elected on, like. You know, first female prime minister. She must have inspired something in the voting public. Who again, fucking idiots.
Right, absolute fucking dog shit for brains. But no. So I tell you what. Was her crack is she was raised by like a greengrocer. Her mother was, I think, a nurse or something, but her father was also like a pastor and a councilman, all this shit, and they just raised Maggie like a fucking little determined Rottweiler. You know, like she was like apparently like unbelievable piano player, could have been a concert pianist, and then like they asked her father, they were like, and why you like, oh, could she have not become a professional musician? He's like, we had much bigger plans for Margaret than that.
She invented ice cream.
Huh?
Not ice cream. She invented Mr. Whippy.
Who?
Margaret Thatcher.
Maggie T.
Margaret Thatcher invented soft serve ice cream.
Go away.
I think that's true.
That can't be true.
Can we give that a goog? I think that's true.
How would you
Which
fuck
is
off?
such a kind of jarring... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like if Hitler invented sprinkles.
Google it. He didn't. I'm sure he didn't. He couldn't have had time. He wouldn't have liked that many different colours either.
Yeah, Mussolini-
Oh, white sprinkles.
Mussolini invented wine gums. Like, do you know what I mean? I just think, oh, how the fuck has that happened?
Yeah.
But she was part of like the team at uni. We've got facts from Cumlin.
It's sort of, you know,
it's a bit
one of
blurry.
these urban myths says one thing, says the other. That's kind of the head of it.
Different articles say different
Yeah.
things. I think
Yeah,
she was
actually, I've
basically
noticed
involved
it.
in the research department at university that pioneered the technology that made soft serve ice cream possible.
Yeah.
But it's funnier to say Thatcher invented soft serve ice cream.
Much fun.
We just
Much
go
more
with that. Do you know the next
Yeah,
time
yeah.
you think of something like that, just, this is what podcasts are for, just say it as if it's true and don't question it. She invented soft serve
She's
ice cream.
Mrs. Whippy.
That's right, she is Mrs. Whippy. She would have, I'd imagine, loved to use a whip on. Anyway, she was a nasty character, but she got just raised with this fucking maniacal drive, right? So anyway, she marries a rich fella. I can't remember what the fuck his name is, but he was a great businessman. He had a load of money, so that allowed her to go into politics. And they were both just crazy ambitious cunts. So they'd literally see each other in the morning. I'll see you now tonight at fucking before bed, because we're going off achieving shit all day. But she never, even as she was prime minister, cooked dinner for her husband every night. Still did all the household chores. Right? She only slept about.
I'd say she probably didn't do all the household chores.
She did them all.
Given that they lived at 10 Downing Street.
Huh?
And they have quite a lot of staff.
She didn't like the staff. She didn't like people doing their jobs. She did it.
Really?
Yeah. No joke. No joke.
Jeez, I have a lot of respect for Margaret Thatcher.
She is some fucking woman, to be fair to her. She's one of the best little girdles that ever set foot in the British Isles. She was a lovely little girdle.
So she was cooking dinner every night.
She was-
I'd say she's a terrible cook.
boiled chicken and, do you know what I mean? And a loveless meal.
What politician do you think would be you would want to cook for you the
Me?
most? Yeah.
Rishi.
Why is that, Michael?
Huh?
Why is that, Michael?
Because he cooked me lovely Indian food. Wouldn't he?
He wouldn't have a fucking clue.
He wouldn't have a
He's
fucking-
never cooked a meal in
He
his life. See,
hasn't,
that's the
yeah.
problem. He's got the ethnic points, but he doesn't have.
No, he grew up too fucking rich.
Yeah.
Who'll cook you? I'm sure Johnson and surely cook you a lovely fry.
Eggs.
Boris and surely fucking.
You want Boris Johnson on breakfast. Who do you want for a nice good lunch? But we political from anywhere around the world.
For a nice lunch, I would say Justin Trudeau would do you like a lovely little fucking, you know,
Jollof rice.
he'd do something very culturally inappropriate. Surely. Do you know what I mean?
Just do curried goat and all.
Yeah. So we'll have fucking Trudeau on lunch.
Then on dinner, like Fidel Castro or somebody, you know, like one of those mad,
Yeah.
like South American
But I'd love-
fellas.
do you know what-
Trump couldn't cook to fucking
No.
save his life. Joe Biden, the house is getting
No,
burnt down.
I'll tell you who we want on dinner. Fact. It's going to be unreal. Berlusconi. Obviously he's dead now, but the big B. Because he'd have a big extravagant fucking dinner. He's Italian, so you know the cunt can cook
6 courses.
That's right.
Antipasta.
He'd have,
stuff.
women that had been kidnapped naked serving you, tiramisu.
I feel like Berlusconi's one of those guys who would have that mad meal where they trap a live monkey and you eat its brains while it's still alive.
Oh, lad, Berlusconi would love to trap a live monkey. There'd be so many live monkeys, you'd think you're in Planet of the Apes. Fucking Berlusconi, you'd have fucking wild fucking geese fucking, scratching the back of your neck. That old Berlusconi now, if ever there was a character.
Oh my God, the Bunga Bunga Man?
For fuck's sake.
Tell you what.
That lad that lad had a good time. I'd give it up to him. Obviously he was corrupt as, the days long. He couldn't sleep straight into bed. He was crooked. But now that lad just seemed like, hey lads, life's for living.
And Filippo said he was very funny. I was talking to Filippo Spreafico about this, former guest of the podcast.
Oh, really?
He was just funny, man. Like, there's just very little you can do about a funny politician. Isn't that crazy? Funny wins.
Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can hide in the bushes on a golf course and try to blow his fucking head off. What I love about this golf course assassination, crouching tiger, hidden Egypt, your man... just a barrel of the gun just sticking out of the bushes.
Wait.
What?
Loop me into this.
You don't know there was another assassination attempt?
No.
Oh yeah, another fella tried to kill Trump.
Oh, Trump? I didn't know this.
Lad! Get your head out your ass.
I mean, I'm now coming around to the fact that nobody tried to kill him in the fucking first place.
Right.
Because his ear's fine.
Yeah.
Like, his ear doesn't have a mark on it.
Well, he got a fucking nick, he got a nick.
No, but even still, from a bullet.
Yeah, he got nicked.
He didn't cut himself shaving. He got shot in the ear.
I know, but it just fucking... It was a bullet graze, it didn't fucking...
Yeah, but there's nothing. There's no problem with his ear
because
whatsoever.
He gets fucking makeup on himself. His face is orange. You can't see anything. He's 78. You can't see that either. He's mental. He looks like a fucking 17-year-old from Mullingar.
Wait, a fella tried to whack him while he was...
Lad, he's out golfing.
Playing golf.
There was some little cunt.
How have I missed this? I've been trying to get off my phone. This is the problem with being off your phone.
Yeah.
You miss all the crack.
Lad, there was a little fucker waited in the bushes for 12 hours. How he knew Trump was going to be there, I don't know. That's what people are saying. How is this information getting out? He was waiting there. He had the barrel of the gun just sticking out of a bush. So he's just waiting there. Now, it turns out...
I'd love that how you found out where Trump was going to be. Trump striking me as the type of guy that posts on Instagram, at the top of the golf course being office for the day.
Yeah. Trump International all day.
I've had worse Tuesdays. Just real cringy Instagram posts. And some guy with a gun's off it for the day. And he gets up to the 17th green.
7 a.m. to 12. I'll be here. Timings for different holes underneath.
He's posting a scorecard at the end of the day.
So
this guy just rocks up to the golf course.
So this little fella hiding in the bush.
This little lad of mine.
Light of mine. He has the gun sticking out. He's
the bush. That's so cartoon.
Out of bush, like Elmer Fudd, looking for Bugs fucking Bunny.
It's Twump season.
Yeah. Literally Elmer Fudd sitting in the fucking bushes, the fucking barrel of the gun coming out, waiting for Trump to hit the hole, and he's going
I'm hunting presidents.
Yes, I'm hunting presidents today. Where are you, Mr. President? So anyway, he's waiting for Trump to blow the old fat orange arse off him. Next thing, anyway, their Secret Service men going ahead to the holes before to see if there's anyone with a gun sticking out of the bushes.
I love the idea that the Secret Service men that are going ahead are also playing golf.
They're just playing ahead.
They have to walk the course anyway. So they're just we might as well
might as well have a bit of fun. Might as well sharpen up the game. Make use of our time.
So there's literally...
Yeah. There's a gun sticking out of the bushes.
Is there photos of this, or is this just here? This?
Well, no. Your man, the FBI agent, wasn't gun. You know what I mean? So he just sees the gun sticking out. Opens FBI guy, just fucking
bang into the bush.
Opens fire. Next thing, fucking crouching tiger, hidden Egypt. Just fuck. So
you across the street from your fella.
Me running away from the fella. Just immediately tough. I'm going to kill the president. Oh no! no. So he runs off. He runs away through the woods like the hammers of hell, like, fuck, right?
So funny.
Gets to his car, just gets in his car, which what I love is the lack of preparation. The car is his car. It's not like he took someone else's car, different number plate. So someone sees him running out, takes a picture of the number plate. It's just that guy's car. Turns out it was some fella that was
really cool.
No, well, he's a fucking legend, but turns out he was a lad that was like super pro-Ukraine. There's videos of him with his hair dyed blue and yellow. He went to Kiev during the war.
Wow.
To like, and he taught.
Try and get on the front lines.
And he was like, everybody in America should be going to Kiev to fight this war. To help this people.
He goes, does anyone know where Vladimir Putin plays golf?
He doesn't play golf?
I have an idea.
What's wrong with the man? He don't play golf? What does he play? Gin rummy, bridge, something.
Something with a bush. Get me a bush next to Putin. I'll do the rest. I'll do the rest.
Just outside the Kremlin in the middle of the road is just a bush with a gun
I
stick.
swear that was not there yesterday.
There is a bush with a rifle. An armed bush outside the Kremlin. I don't want to raise alarm, but I think...
And you know the Kremlin, like Secret Service guys, if they saw a bush with a rifle sticking out of it, they're just rolling a grenade into that bush.
Oh.
Boom, game over. Like they're dropping a bomb from an airplane
onto the bush. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Like there'd be a new bunker on the golf course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He get absolutely blown to pieces.
Oh, my God, that's so funny. So your man gets arrested?
So your man gets he gets arrested. You know, Trump is obviously like, Trump's new thing is like, is Sleepy Joe and Carmela, they want me dead. This is their fault, what they've been saying about me. You know, and it's like, what I love is like, they've said all these things about me, that I'm a threat to democracy, now people are trying to kill me. You know, it's funny like how little, now people are saying he's a little rattled, but like how, as far as I can see, this man has been rattled the absolute minimum from being an eighth of an inch away from getting your head sprayed all over a fucking stage.
But this is part of my big conspiracy theory that it didn't ever fucking happen. Because he was not even making the most of it. Like, as soon as that happened, we were all like, he's going to win. And now it looks like he's just absolutely, I mean, he fucked the debate. I haven't watched it, but I should watch it for the next episode.
Yeah.
But, like, it's from the sounds of things.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. The immigrants.
He's writing a fucking racist Dr. Seuss book,
right?
Which they already exist. But he was like, they're eating dogs, they're eating cats, they're eating people without their hats.
Like what the greatest the greatest thing about even the dog's comment is it comes directly after. She just winds him up, like very intentionally. She just goes, I invite you to go to a Donald Trump rally. She's like, they're so boring that people are leaving before the end. And like, she's trying to get him off point of like immigration. Like, and it's just like, you just see Trump just go, when she just goes, then he goes back, and he goes, we have the greatest rallies in the world.
Yeah, you just have to prick his ego, and then he'll talk about that for a bit.
No one wants to go to her rallies. They're sad. People say, oh, that was a bad rally. I didn't like that. I hear it from people. And then he goes, and the immigrants, they're coming into Springfield. They're eating the dogs.
One time I met a Haitian man. He did not like green eggs and ham. He liked dogs.
Dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating people's pets. It's sad, really. And then literally the moderator goes, he's like, we have just contacted the city manager in Springfield. There has been no reports of anyone eating any pets there. And then Trump just goes, I saw it on television.
I saw it. I saw in Springfield. They've got this nuclear power plant. But it's not being managed properly. Mr. Burns, he's a nasty character.
Mr. Burns, we get on very well. He's a good guy. This other guy, Smithers, seems gay. I don't like it. We've got a guy, Homer Simpson, not a smart guy, but does his best. Mo, wonderful barman.
Apu, he'll be gone.
Apu won't be staying in the country. Listen.
There's an episode, he died like a dog. Apu, Baghdad, Baghdadi.
Mayor Quimby doing a wonderful job.
The Bumblebee man, he's gone.
Yeah. Krusty the Clown.
They're not sending their best. They're sending Bumblebee men.
Some of the men are bumblebees. It's really sad when you look at it. A lot of the men are bumblebees. So many of the men have become insects. It's really sad. One of them's a clown, and as far as I can tell, a Jew. A big Jew clown. It's very sad what we're seeing. Oh, fuck me.
Goodness. What amount of time have we possibly done?
54.
Oh, let me talk about Romania.
Yeah, I feel like Mike was in Romania doing his Romanian TV debut, and none of that's a lie.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Mike went to, and I heard a little bit about it because we had the wonderful Finlay Christie opening on the tour recently. Christie!
So I'm going to tell you just one part of it, and I'll tell the rest. There's a lot of parts of this trip. I'll tell the rest on the Patreon, but I must tell on the public. So me and Finlay get our flight over, and I'll explain exactly what we're doing in Romania in the Patreon. But we're over recording half an hour
we
for
couldn't say publicly what Mike was doing in Romania.
No, I've got some juicy Patreon details I don't want everyone to know. That'll be later.
Sounds like you're a criminal.
Whoa!
Sounds like you're a sex trafficking criminal.
I did some stuff.
I wouldn't want to say publicly what I was doing in Romania.
No.
But those women were paid for their work. And
put the 3,000 pigs on the Patreon. By God, it'll be music to your ears. So when me and Finlay, right, so we arrive at the airport, and it's me, Finlay, and Catherine Henson. We're the three comics. We're doing half an hour each for like Romanian Netflix. They're flying us over, it's decent money, whatever. Yeah, Romanian Netflix kind of thing. Right, yeah, it is silly. Laugh it off.
Soviet flicks?
Soviet flicks, yeah, exactly. So anyway, we arrive. There's a fella waiting for us. He just has a little sign that says comedy, right?
At the airport?
Yeah. At the airport. So anyway, we go up to this guy. I can only describe this guy. He looks like when Dave Chappelle did the Chappelle show. Remember when he was really skinny and he used to wear a paddy cap? Do you remember that? He looks like him, but white and nearly 60. He's just real skinny, had this little paddy cap. And so anyway, he introduced himself to us. He says, I am your driver. He's like, I am comedian too. I'm comedian too. And he's like, my name is Victor or something like that. But my nickname is Cabbage. He says, you call me Cabbage. I cabbage to you. And then we're like, all right, Cabbage, that's lovely. And we're in safe hands here anyway. So me and Finlay are like, all right, grand, sure, we'll go to the car. And he's like, no, we have to wait for Catherine. She is on the next flight, okay? So anyway, it turns out Catherine's flight is an hour and a half late. No. So we're just waiting in the airport with Cabbage for an hour and a half. And I'm not joking, Cabbage does not stop talking for an hour and a half. We are just witnesses to the Cabbage cast.
The Cabbage show?
Yeah, the Cabbage show. So anyway, Cabbage tells us, he's like, in Romania, he's like, I am very famous. He's like, I have a #1 show in Romania for 20 years. And I was like, and now you're picking us up from the airport. Okay. Grant, he's like, yes. He's like, but, and we said, why are you collecting us here? He's like, I want to try to get in with the club that you are playing at. They don't like to book Cabbage. They don't like to book Cabbage. And we're like, why don't they like to book Cabbage? He's like, he's like, the problem is, he's like, I go up on stage, I talk to the crowd, I improvise, everybody laugh, but the comedians don't like that. They say Cabbage too good. We don't want Cabbage. So I was like, so the reason the club is not booking you is because you're too good. He was like, yes, this is why they want to book Cabbage. And then anyway, literally I would say within 2 minutes of talking, he's like, it's comedy these days. It's stupid anyway. You can't say beep. Drops the N-bomb. Straight, hard R. Yeah, hard R. Within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, he just drops it. bang, hard
Says the
or
N-word straight
can't
away.
say the N-word, can't say...
I don't know why they don't book me.
Yeah, he's like, you can't say that. And then he goes, and me and Finlay were literally like this, like taken aback. Do you know when you hear that word, you're just jarred. And then he just goes, what? It's funny. And then we were like, well, yeah. I was like, you know, when Chris Rock did it maybe, and you know, but yeah, not on its own, or you can't say that. Anyway, he goes, this is Bucharest. You say whatever you want. Go and say it. We were like, no, we won't say that now. So then anyway, he's going on now. His big problem, Cabbage's big problem is that he's too good at comedy. And that's kept him out of the big clubs.
Finlay said his act was too explosive. Like
He's too explosive. The crowd, they crazy. Nobody can come on after me because I blow up crowd. Crowd everywhere, body parts thrown everywhere after Cabbage. You don't follow Cabbage. No way you follow Cabbage. Right? So anyway, we're chatting away there. He's just saying mad shit. You know, every once in a while, you can't even say it. Drops the N-bomb again. Okay, right? And he's just
I can't emphasize this enough. You're not allowed to say.
You're not allowed to say it. And then he's just, you know, he's dropping the F-bomb. He's just like, well, why can't we make fun of faggots? You know, and they're like, what? No, you can't. He's like, but why not we do? It's funny.
Why not we do? It's so great.
Why not we do? It's funny. And we're like, right, all right, yeah. So next thing anyway, he tells me, he's like, we're chatting away to him and he's telling us all sorts of stuff. He's like, these women in the Romania, he's like, these are voted most best women in the world. These are most best. He's like, but there is 2 ugly ones in the Romania. He told us literally, he's just like, there's 2 ugly ones and we don't like these girls. So there's 2 women that are just famous for being ugly like that. The 2 of them are ugly, but the rest are really good. You have good time. And he's like, look at me, I'm not Brad Pitt, but you know, if you talk to Cabbage for 45 minutes, now your knickers you throw away. You know, we're like, I don't know, Cabbage. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this doesn't feel right.
Everything you're saying seems kind of wrong. So next thing anyway, he's like, you want to hear a joke? You want to hear a good joke? And we were like, kind of like, yeah, go on, Cabbage. And all the way through this as well, we're pretending that I'm English as well. So like, me and Finlay are saying stuff like, just like, because he, you know, Cabbage, you can imagine gypsies get brought up quite a bit. The gypsies. He's like, I don't like the gypsies. We're like, no way, Cabbage, really? And he's just like, yes, they try to get money and then don't smell good. And you're like, right, Cabbage. And then
your name's Cabbage.
Your name is Cabbage. You self-anointed yourself as Cabbage. So then he starts saying to me, he's like, so we're there, and then Finlay goes, yeah, he's like, there's a lot of those, you know, like gypsies in Ireland as well. And I was like, yeah, oh, they fucking stink. Ireland's full of them. And then Cabbage goes, I hate to say, but yes, it's like a lot of gypsies in Ireland. I prefer England. We were like, us too, Cabbage, us too. Right? So anyway, Cabbage is there. So let me tell you a joke, right? So here's the joke Cabbage tells. So Cabbage goes, okay, so there's this medical student studying the medicine. He's in the class, and the teacher puts out the body of a woman in the class to show everybody the biology. So the teacher comes over, he says, look, this is a foot. Cuts off the foot, throws it out the window. Next, the teacher says, look, this is an arm. Cuts off the arm, throws it out the window. Next, he says, look, this is titty. Cuts off the titty, throws it out the window. Next, he says, look, this is pussy. Cuts off the pussy, throws it out the window. Next thing, 2 gay people walking down the street, 2 men walk by. One gay man sees the pussy on the ground, says, oh no, fuck, kill it. Because he hates pussy.
That's the end of the joke.
That's the whole joke. This was Cabbage's big joke.
It's explosive.
It's explosive.
Explosive comedy. It's certainly explosive. Oh my God.
Well, first he go, kill it. And there was more of a gap than that, and we were just kind of looking at him like, and then, because he hates pussy. He hates pussy so much. He wants to kill the pussy. And then literally, we were like, so Catherine was coming, and we were like, I was saying to Cabbage, I was like, Cabbage now, I was like, when Catherine comes, you know, don't be saying, like,
rein it in a little bit.
Don't be saying any of this stuff. He's like, what what? She don't like funny? And then I was just kind of like, yeah, she don't like funny.
She don't like funny.
Let's just say she don't like funny, Cabbage.
For the sake of everybody's weekend in Romania. Let's say she don't like
She don't like Cabbage. So then anyway, Cabbage like brings us to
surely we're onto the Patreon at this point.
No, we are. And I just to this last bit, but he brings out to the car park and there's like an Audi A5 there, and that's the car he's driving us in. And he just goes, I told you, Cabbage very good. Cabbage make a lot of money. Oh, then I was like, fucking fair play, Cabbage. And like we're driving in the car and I was like, fuck, you had this when did you get this car? A couple of years ago, but it's nothing for me. So anyway, we arrive at the hotel. The next night, I'm talking to the comedians there and stuff, and it's like, I was like, oh yeah, Cabbage, and geez, it's a lovely car. And then like one of the guys that runs the club he's like, well, that is my car, right? Let Cabbage drive the car. Well, the Cabbage pointed at the car. I told you, Cabbage makes some money. Long live Cabbage.
So funny. Cabbage just gets a chance every so often just convince two people that he's a legend for a moment, and he takes it every time.
Yeah,
I like that.
I know, we give Cabbage's due.
Anyway,
lads, I've a lot more Romanian stuff on the Patreon.
Of course.
We love you. We'll chat to you soon. Sign on to the Patreon, continue the episode.
Your tour shows, for the love of piss.
Oh God! Right, so my tour extension. I've just added a show in.
Did you just say Mike at the start of that?
Yeah. So what? London, I've just added a show. MikeRiceComedy.com. That's the 1st of December. Top secret. I've added a show in Cork. 22nd of November. Get the fuck on that, Cork, you dirty Egypts. Where else have I added a show?
I don't have a fucking clue, man.
You don't care.
I didn't even follow you on Instagram.
Get on Dublin. You're some smelly Egypt. Dublin, Brighton, Manchester, Newcastle, Dundee, sold out. We just added an extra show. Manchester, Birmingham, you stupid cunts. Just look up MikeRiceComedy.com. I'll be coming near you. Cardiff, what about G? You smelly Egypts. Come on, buy some tickets. So look at MikeRiceComedy.com and come on my tour.
This comes out tomorrow. Cardiff. There's a few tickets left. Not loads and loads, but a few tickets left. Cardiff, and then when else do we have? We've got a fair few to fucking shift in Derry, if you could get on that. Belfast is looking like it's going to sell out, but do get involved on that. I think the balcony might be sold out already.
Where's that?
The Ulster Hall.
Nice.
And then London, we're adding an extra show. It's not on sale yet, but we're adding Clapham Grand, which will be very exciting.
How big is that?
700.
Nice. Which one are you in right now?
Union Chapel.
How big is that?
900.
No, nice.
It's all very cool and exciting.
Oh, nice.
What else do we have that needs Cork? The stalls are nearly sold out, so they've opened up the balcony now. So if you like heights and adrenaline and stuff, go do that. I'm trying to think anywhere else. Ballymena, for the love of fuck, if you know anyone in Ballymena, that looks really bad. Same for Portsmouth. Brighton is starting to shift along. I was a little bit worried about that, but it's starting to take over. So get your tickets for that if you're in Brighton.
Nice.
Portsmouth could be a problem. Killarney looks like a nightmare. Westport doesn't look great, and Kilkenny last night of the tour finally starting to shift. But that'll be good fun. Generally all around the UK and Ireland, go on the website, and if you're in fucking Dubai, come to that as well.
Lovely.
That'd be nice. See you there. Sign up to Patreon, patreon.com/parenting.
Nice. Boy.